You cleaned up, found Jesus. Listening to a little Weezer. Say it ain't so. I wish you could listen to the music with me. Damn copyrights. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Friday night. It's a beautiful day. I spent most of it in the dark wearing a headlamp. Yeah, that's what I did. I literally spent most of my day in the dark throwing stuff into buckets and bins and garbage cans and labeling stuff. So next week, it looks like about middle of next week, they'll start the auction for the crap at the radio station building. This will be everything, a complete litany of stuff from the radios in the green room to the piano in the green room to the kitchen equipment, walk-in coolers, and you name it. It's all going to get sold, or at least what can get sold, because then it's eventually going to get recycled or thrown away or whatever. So I will talk about that a lot. I'll have it, put it up, I'll plaster it everywhere. Like this, like I've been doing this forever, plastering this everywhere. It was interesting. Don, the idea guy today, sent me a thing where there's going to be a food festival in Chicago. And he said, you should get them to have you at the booth with Stephen He to help raise money for food banks and stuff. I'm like, what a great idea. So I sent it to Heinz. I totally followed up with him. Like, you should have us doing autographs for Heinz Verified. And then I can create some sort of a charity event to raise monies for, communities using Heinz Verified and blah, blah, blah. So I have to flesh it out a little bit more, but we'll see. Maybe they'll bite. Who knows? Got to keep trying, just keep throwing it at the wall. Don't do unto others what you would not want others to do unto you. Confucianism. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in this world. Confucianism. All right. So we'll start with birthdays and we'll end with a death. So birthdays. 1973, Neve Campbell, actress Neve Campbell. Apparently she's a singer too. Who knew? Who isn't, right? 1976, Sean William Scott from Stifler from American Pie. Stifler's mom, Stifler. 1941, the man who made the twist famous, Mr. Chubby Checker. He's 81 today, or 84 today, sorry. 84 today, Chubby Checker. Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way. Birthday today, as well as John Krulowinski of Styx fame. Ronnie Laws, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Jack Grodin, 38 Special. Stevie Ray Vaughan, born on this day, 1954. Died in 1990. Apparently, the 1991, the ex-governor of Texas the year after, then governor of Texas, Ann Richardson, dedicated today as Stevie Ray Vaughan Day in Texas. And dedicated such with that there would be a motorcycle ride and an annual concert to help benefit the charity that Stevie Ray Vaughan created to help the Stevie Ray Vaughan Scholarship Fund in Central Texas. I don't know if that's still going on today. I didn't bother to look, but I thought that was nice of then Governor Ann Richardson. A lot of people were influenced by Stevie Ray Vaughan. You can read a lot of people that are like, yes, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So, yeah, he had some good stuff, some good music. Tommy Lee of Motley Crue, 63 today. Ex-Pamela Anderson tape aficionado. Dan Miller of They Might Be Giants. Love They Might Be Giants, always great. Gwen Stefani of No Doubt, her birthday today. And G-Love of Special Sauce. We've had G-Love at the station many times. We actually did a Studio 7 with him for Jack Daniels at Scully's at one point. We actually did the Black Keys at a Scully's show. Think about that. Black Keys sells at stadiums. We actually had them when they played a 450 person venue. I think we had about 800 in that place. It was just crazy packed. But the Black Keys were always big fans of the station. Every time they would come, we'd always hear them tell people like, oh yeah, you got to turn on CD 101. Got to listen to the radio station. Because we would always talk about them and always play songs when they were in town. So that was always nice that, major acts like that literally were huge fans of the radio station, which is nice, which is, kind of a cool thing. Died on this day, John Heisman of the Heisman Trophy. Now, I didn't really know why John Heisman I didn't know anything about the Heisman Trophy, so I did just a tiny bit of reading. So apparently, why there was the Heisman Trophy and why was John Heisman what it's about, he legalized the forward pass. I guess it wasn't legal to then. And he originated the center snap. So that's why there's the Heisman Trophy for quarterbacks, typically. So that is him, John Heisman. He died today. Woody Guthrie died today of Huntington's disease, of all things. He was famous for singing "This Land Is Our Land." He used to go to schools and do that. His son was Arlo Guthrie. Huntington's disease I'm very familiar with, unfortunately. It is a hereditary disease. It's a terrible disease. It steals your mind. I have a close relationship with a Huntington's family that I've known for a very long time. And I think about them fondly because I know they're dealing with it. And it's tough. HD is it's a real thing. Tough. So sorry about that one. Also died in the days, Roddy McDowell. Now remember just talking about him because he was born on September 17th. I was like, wait, didn't I just talk about Roddy McDowell? But yeah, Planet of the Apes, Roddy McDowell. Now I was also thinking about Malcolm McDowell because I was reading about the Clockwork Orange. And it's interesting that apparently Stanley Kubrick, when Malcolm McDowell of Clockwork Orange fame and Caligula and a bunch of other crazy stuff, he didn't really tell him how to be Alex DeLarge. He just kind of let him go and didn't really tell him what to do. And then pretty much as he went on, he let him sort of get into this character of do it over until he sort of became Alex. And at one point when he was doing a particularly violent scene and he just started to hum Singing in the Rain, it was said that Kubrick stopped everything and went out and bought the rights to the song so he could sing it, because he said he just did it without even thinking. He just started humming that song, and Kubrick just felt it was so important for that scene. He literally stopped filming to get the rights to the song and then resumed filming once he had it. So I just thought that was interesting, how that Roddy McDowell and Malcolm McDowell sort of crossed my path. And also on this day, Ben Orr, Ben 11 letters, or Jack Jakowski of the Cars from Lakewood, Ohio, of course, because that's where the Cars came from, died on this day. But he was also born recently. I was like, wait, I just saw his name too. He was September 8th. So he was only a month ago that his birthday was. So again, he was in that 10% within a month of your birthday. So both him and Roddy McDowell, because he was September 17th, fell within that category of close to your birthday. So they made it past it, just a little bit past. And then Janet Leigh of Psycho fame passed away on this day. 1945. Remember, we go all over the place. Left, right. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this chronologically. I just don't do it. I can't. It's too hard. And I don't have the time to do it. This takes me, like I said, close to 2 hours to do 30 minutes. Well, because I dilly-dally. I read. I learn knowledge. I keep wrinkling the brain. And then I fall down these rabbit holes and these tangents and these side projects. And it's just like, let me back up. And I'm listening to music also, because when I find out about a song, like, oh, I have to go listen to the Cars' Greatest Hits. Oh, I need to go listen to that Elvis song. Oh, I need to listen to that song by Gwen Stefani. That's a big part of it. Because I need the music. Got to listen to the music. And remember, I don't listen to Spotify. It's not my animal. I listen to YouTube music. I go through YouTube so I can Google through the music to Wikipedia and get information on the song, and it's this big circular vat of stuff. 1945, Elvis Presley, 1945, performs for the very first time on stage at 10 years old at the Mississippi, Alabama State Fair. And apparently they didn't have their own state fair, so they had to share one. He sang a rendition of Old Shep. I don't know what the hell that is. I didn't bother to look it up. I'm like, it just sounds like it would be terrible. You know, it just, I'm sure I've heard it sometime. It was in some old movie or something, and I'm sure I've heard it, but I just was like, nope, it's not going to do it. Old Shep. Anyway, now it was broadcast on WELO radio, Wello, and I got conflicting information about whether he came in 5th or 2nd. Don't know. But his prize was $5 in ride tickets. $5 in ride tickets. I mean, that was probably a big deal back in 1945. $5 in ride tickets? Crap. You know, that could probably get you on the tilt-a-whirl a dozen times. Right? Just thinking. 1975, so we jumped from 45 to 75, 30 years like that. Bang. Apple Records releases George Harrison's 6th album, Extra Texture, in the UK. I did no research on that whatsoever. 1990, a Florida record store owner is found guilty of obscenity charges. A record store owner on obscenity charges, okay? And this is because he sold a record. The record he sold was by the rap group 2 Live Crew. I was like, what the crap? I did a little digging on that, and yeah, they did. They found him for obscenity charges. Freaking Florida. You know, you can... Florida. That's a Florida man story if I've ever heard one. Florida PD man, apparently. Anyway. 2014, see, we jumped. We went way back the other direction now. 2014, legendary blues man, Mr. B.B. King, performs his last live show ever at the House of Blues in Chicago, Illinois. And I've seen B.B. over the years a few times because he used to come through. He was one of those annual performers like Alice Cooper. He would pretty much tour every year, sort of on his summertime gigs. So I saw B.B. a couple times. And yeah, he was just this consummate professional, just so well, just, you know, had it dialed in. I think I probably saw him close to the end, but never unflinchingly, good. Never lost a lick, just always the same. You could always listen to him, and it sounded like the album sounded like him in person, and it just, you know, that unwavering voice, that just his fingers, and yeah. B.B. King. 2022, Ringo Starr postpones 5 shows on his Canadian tour because he tests positive for COVID. Ringo gets everybody at this point. Falling way backward, 1941, The Maltese Falcon is released with Humphrey Bogart. 1955, The Mickey Mouse Club premieres on TV, of all crazy things. Now, you know, I've never talked about it. I was actually on Romper Room. Yes, I was on Romper Room when I was a kid. My mom drove me into New York City every morning for a week. I remember we had to take the bus into the studio because it was live. This was not taped and not recorded, but I did Romper Room. I was a romper stomper for an entire week in the late 60s. I've looked and tried to find recordings of it, but I've never been successful because I don't think they taped those things. They just kind of reused the tapes and just sent them on their way. But yes, I was in Romper Room, live on TV in New York City in front of millions when I was just, you know, a wee shaver. Also debuted in this day, 1955, is the Captain Kangaroo Show, which made famous the line, "Good morning, Captain!" Oh, Captain Kangaroo, how creepy. Andy Griffith premieres in 1960. Mr. Ed premieres in 1961. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed. In 1994, because remember we go from 1961 to 1994, Gary Larson retires from writing the comic The Far Side. That I always found to be one of the funnier little things. I actually have a couple that reference Randy. There's one that used to hang on my board at my office. I saw it today, so that's why it was one of those things. I manifested it by seeing it today. There's something with Gary Larson retiring today on this date, October 3rd, 1994. How crazy is that? But it was a gumball machine filled with mice. And there's a cat who's buying a gumball, which is a mouse. And one of the mice points and goes, "Randy's going down!" And for some reason, I just found that just to be hilarious because it's like, ah! Yes, I feel like that. The mouse and the gumball machine, which I have a giant gumball machine that almost is going to go on the chopping blocks. I don't know. Should I put it on the chopping blocks? I need someone to let me know. Should I do that or shouldn't I? I'd have to store it. But I did, it's one of these giant gumball machines. You put a quarter and you get a gumball. I always like stocking it. I always thought it was great to have a gumball machine. People always got them. People always ate gumballs. It's just one of those things. Who doesn't like a 25-cent gumball? I got a quarter. Drop it in there. Get a gumball. And I kept them fresh. I kept the stock going. I didn't overfill it so that way they didn't get in there and get rotty. You could still bite it and not lose a tooth. Oh, this I found the irony to be so good. So good. 1995, O.J. Simpson is found not guilty of murder. 2008, O.J. Simpson is found guilty of kidnapping and armed robbery. I mean, that was the karma wheel or what? I mean, it was like tick, 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 tick. Oh, tick. And it just fell right back. It was like, yeah. 1995, you got away with it. Yep. 2008, no, you're not getting away with it. 13 years later, lucky on 13 for Mr. O.J. Simpson there, buddy. I just found that to be most ironic. I think so. That's just me. I could be completely wrong. 1958, Worcester, Massachusetts, at the Worcester, which I always find crazy that Worcester, Massachusetts is so big. And it's not that big. I mean, I've been there many, many times. That's where my dad grew up. But anyway, and which I found something really, really creepy today that I have to check with somebody. There was a thing about historian George Bancroft. My cousin is Bancroft, and I think they said Grandpa George. So I was like, wait a second. And he's from Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm like, wait, my grandfather was a great historian? Like, wait, what? So I have to ask family now because I've never heard this before, and this would be too weird if this is not the coincidence that it's like a real thing. He's got to be related, right? Right? Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm just like, whoa. Anyway, Worcester, Massachusetts was the biggest show of the stars of 1958. It's kicked off in Worcester, Massachusetts, and it had names like Buddy Holly, Frankie Avalon, Bobby Darin, and like 20 more that I just didn't write down because my hand was tired tonight for some reason. I just was like, I just don't want to write tonight. Tonight's one of those nights I just wanted to be like cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. But then I don't remember it because that means I didn't read it. And that mental stuff, I can actually read and remember it a little bit. So, 1978, members of Aerosmith, while at a show performing, have 30 of their fans arrested, apparently for smoking pot. This happens in Fort Wayne, Indiana. After the show, the band went down to the police station and bailed all 30 people out, posting their bond and paying for it so they could be released on their own recognizance. Aww. Very nice band. Promoting pot smokings and getting the kids kicked out. You gotta like that. That's good karma. Your followers get kicked out for smoking doobage, and you go ahead and you say, yeah, you know what? That's unfair. We're just going to get you on out. So good job, Aerosmith. Steven Tyler and company. Got to appreciate that. Taking care of those kids. 1987, M-A-R-R-S. Mars were number one in the UK with the single, Pump Up the Volume. Now, you've most likely heard this song, Pump Up the Volume, Pump Up the Volume. Now, apparently, It's the first British-made house hit. Well, number one, first, it was the first number one ever. That was the British-made house hit that was heavily sampled with other recordings. Now, the issue is that they sampled 29 other recordings for this one song. Being that it was the first, you know exactly where we're going with this. It was also followed by multiple litigations because of the fact that they sampled 29 other artists for the various releases. I had to go look at it. I'm like, wait, 29? I'm like, geez. All right. Yeah, they sampled a bunch. That's the entire song basically is a sample. There's nothing original about it. That's the best part. It is literally one big sample. And it made it to number one. So, see, there's still hopes. There's still hopes that we can have a number one. We just have to go sample it. Oh, ridiculous. In 1991, MC Hammer offered $50,000 for the return of Michael Jackson's white glove that was apparently stolen from the Motown Museum. The thing is, I didn't understand. It said this was part of an ongoing feud with MC Hammer and Michael Jackson. I didn't read what that was, but it made no sense to me, so I didn't write that part down. I don't know if he was trying to like get it back for himself or well, I didn't get it, so I just kind of deleted it. Like I said, sometimes I just make this shit up. You just don't know unless you're like following every single thing I tell you and researching it. I can just throw stuff in here anytime I want. I don't, but sometimes I do omit details because they bore me. Sorry. Or things like every single day practically, Farm Aid on this day, Farm Aid on this day. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I don't care that much. Willie Nelson, John Cougar, Dave Matthews, this artist, I'm just like, yes. And they played where tonight? Topeka, Kansas. Okay. Where they played? Okay. And then, no, okay. So do we really need to know about Farm Aid every single time they played the show? I don't. I don't think you do either. That's just me. I could be completely wrong. Hold on. Someone's texting. And usually if someone's texting, it's something important. Let's see. Where are we at? No, not there. What? Oh, look at that. Loved an image I sent. Let's see. I sent it at 2:16 this afternoon. When I was digging through the offices. That's so funny. I find that to be most hilarious that it's sent this many hours later. You know they're definitely not responding to me quickly. My importance is... We talked about the Texas governor proclaiming October 3rd Stevie Ray Vaughan Day, so I can go ahead and skip that one. 1992, October the 3rd, on live television. Irish pop superstar and rocker Sinead O'Connor, after finishing her performance, seemingly out of nowhere, pulls out a picture of Pope John Paul II. Stunned into silence, the audience, studio members, cast and crew watch in horror as she tears up the picture of the Pope live on television. Sinead does this out of protest for the years of sexual abuse by the Roman Catholic Church. Again, stunned into silence, the studio immediately cuts to commercial, shuffles her off the stage, never to be seen again. The FCC fines NBC $2.5 million for the incident. I didn't know why they did that. I didn't bother to read that, but that seems a little arbitrary. Like, how would they know? It wasn't like she cursed or said anything. I mean, so what? She ripped up pictures. Isn't that free speech? I mean, she didn't like the Pope. She felt there was a politically charged thing. I don't think they should have done that. I think that should have not been followed. I mean, if you're going to drop the F-bomb on TV, sure. That seems to be something that's a little bit different. But tearing a picture of the Pope, I mean, What if you're not Catholic? Who cares? Just some dude that wears a crazy hat. Just saying. Just saying. 1999, Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Dun, 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 dun. Went to number 1 on the UK album chart with Reload, becoming the oldest artist to score a number 1 with new material. See, there's the new material. Because remember last time we talked about this, and the oldest pop star was not new material. That was the thing. It was with Lady Gaga. It was not new material. But anyway, it was new material. Also, this song was then later used on a Simpsons episode. So you gotta love that. It wasn't the Simpsons episodes. They seem to be predicting everything that's ever happened in the world. I think it's just that because they use this random generator of thought that they're just putting out an episode about everything and anything that could possibly ever happen. And at some point it does. Right? That's the way it works, isn't it? That if you write down every possibility for every single thing that could ever happen, eventually you're going to seem like Nostradamus because everything will eventually happen. I'm just saying. 2000, assassin of John Lennon, Mark Chapman, was denied parole officially. The parole board met with Chapman for 50 minutes and concluded that he was in fact still a danger to society and that releasing him would in fact diminish the severity of the crime that he perpetrated by basically assassinating John Lennon on December the 8th in New York City. Can't hate that. Just saying. Can't hate it. Okay, now who's texting? More texting. More texting. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, excellent. Let's see. Ooh. Football game tomorrow. So yeah, I do need to do my research during the day tomorrow. It should be a blowout. It's a 7:30 game, but you mean if I stay, I won't get back till like 9:30, 10:30. Won't give me time. So I'm going to do my research during the day tomorrow. So who knows? Maybe that'll allow me to get pictures and something else of people, places, and things. Maybe not. 2002, Iron Butterfly lead singer, vocalist Daryl Deloche dies on this day at the age of 56. Remember, Iron Butterfly was In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That was in one of the not Red Dragon. What movie was that? Aloha, Don the Idea Guy. Oh, yes, hi. I was actually just talking about the trade show in Hines. No word back yet. But I did send that your stuff out there because I gave you credit for it, too, earlier in the episode, saying how you came with this brilliant idea. So I sent it out to Hines. Why not, right? All they can do is say no or think it's a great idea and say yes, fly me out to Chicago, have me sign some autographs, and then send me on the world tour to verify restaurants and start this charity drive to raise X amount of dollars. You know, we should raise $1 million. That should be the goal for local food banks. Right? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, the bathroom break song of DJ Zavor. That's correct. Yes, it is. Now, this one I found to be silly, to say the least. I'm going to have to reel a little bit. In 2011, according to new scientific research, Queen's We Are the Champion was found to be the catchiest song ever written. This is not my research. This is the research that they found. So from the University of London, where this research was conducted, what they said to make a song catchy requires 4 elements. Okay? And again, this is somebody else, so don't be killing me. Don't kill the messenger for this one. All right? 1, there has to be long and detailed musical phrases. 2, multiple pitch changes in the song's hook. 3, a male vocalist. Oh, crap. I didn't even see it. Look at that. Because I was looking down. That's just tragic. And I even knew it would be timed. So 3, this is where it gets 3, a male vocalist. Don't say it. And 4, higher male voices making noticeable voice effects. So we're talking like this or like this, I guess. Other notable songs were YMCA by the Village People, Fat Lip by Sum 41, and Europe's The Final Countdown. It's the final countdown. So that was according to 2011 research. I'm sure that somebody will deny that and change it now, but that was then and this is now. So I'm just telling you what it was. In 2013, Michael Jackson family lost a negligence case against concert giant promoter AEG. Apparently, this was over the death of Michael Jackson. What they alleged was that the doctor was not capable of properly performing his duties, which then led to Michael Jackson's death. The jury concluded, though, that the doctor was not unfit for his job, so AEG was not negligent in hiring this doctor for Michael Jackson. Jackson died in 2009 of a overdose of surgical anesthetic. Wow. I mean, like horse tranquilizers? Like what the fuck? Surgical anesthetic. Like what the hell? I didn't realize he died of that. Like, well, like what exactly was that? I don't know. I did not dig, but okay. Surgical anesthetic. Just saying. 2014, a mint condition Beatles album with Please Please Me, or of Please Please Me, which was signed by all four members of the Fab Four, went for sale in the U.S. at auction and garnished almost $37,000 for the four signatures on this mint condition album. 2019, Liam Gallagher of Oasis fame reached number one in the UK with his chart with his second solo album. Why me? Why not? The lead song, Shockwave, became one of his largest hits ever and best-selling single vinyl in the UK for the year 2019. I did listen to that because I've seen him perform that a couple times. It's a good song. I don't know if it's the best, but it's a really good song, Shockwave by Liam. So, yeah, throw it on, listen to it, check it out. The year 2000 occurred, and Green Day released their sixth album, Warning. It followed their 1997 release of Nimrod, a big fave of mine. It reached number 4 on the charts. They believe that the sales were weaker on it than expected because somehow it was leaked onto the streaming bootleg platform of Napster 3 weeks prior to its actual release. And the number of downloads, they said, was in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands. That would do it. So they said that it did hurt overall sales prior to that by the sale. I mean, they've sold 3.5 million to this day, so it's not like it didn't sell eventually. But, you know, rich get richer. That's the way it works, damn it. 1968, Led Zeppelin released their single Communication Breakdown. It was the B-side of the self-titled album, Led Zeppelin, released in 1969, of Good Times, Bad Times. Oddly enough, lead singer Jimmy Page is not credited on the song, even though he wrote it, because apparently he had contractual obligations for something else and could not get credited for it. So it's only credited with the other 3 band members. There you go. You gotta like that one. Did I say Jimmy Page? No, I'm spacing out. Yeah, maybe it was Jimmy Page. I don't know. I'll have to I didn't write it down. So I'm just remembering it from reading it. I think it was Jimmy Page. Didn't get credited with it. Yes. Anyway, Genesis, on this day in 1983, released their 12th album called Genesis. It took them 12 albums to make a self-titled album, Genesis. Following their 1982 tour, Three Sides Live, they took an 8-month hiatus in between their last tour and the release of this album. It got to be number 2 or number 1 in the UK and number 9 in the US. And this was their third straight number 1 in the UK. That was like second one? No, third straight. 1975, The Who released their 7th album, The Who by Numbers. It was named the 10th best album of 1975. They did it after their Quadrophenia tour that happened in 1974. They took about a year and a half off after this to film their rock opera Tommy. 2005, Fiona Apple released her 3rd album, Extraordinary Machine. In 2006, Beck released his 10th album, The Information. And it was the first album he ever did that was over 1 hour. I'll put my book down. Ask me, want to end? No, not yet. Don't want to end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And tonight I will end on a very sad note. Oh, yes, the sad note. Today, on this day, October 3rd, 2025, we talk about the death of WCSB. Yes. Apparently today, unbeknownst to pretty much anybody of the staff, the audience, the listeners, or the university people, besides the few that are in the know, the Cleveland State University kills WCSB. After 50 years, 49, this is their 50th anniversary of student-run radio. They basically transferred the license in midstream, unbeknownst to the staff of students, to IdeaStream, and it is now going to be jazz. It already is jazz. It went right to it. While they called the students in for a meeting this morning, not knowing what it was with administrators, they switched formats from underneath them. All their key cards stopped working. They were all locked out of the studios. Their scholarships were not like the people that had scholarships for this, tuition reimbursement, gone, everything. And they said it's not due to money or budget cuts, that they have a grand plan for this. Yeah, to me, that just sounds like absolute horseshit. A couple of my friends texted me from Cleveland how unhappy they were that this is because they were a student run, so they played everything. They were a very eclectic radio station. It was an NPR station and independent, basically, because the university let them run it. So, yes, it is now jazz after 50 years. Oh, and the best part was today, which I don't usually highlight these things, today is World College Radio Day. So, a big F you to our friends at Cleveland State University for knocking off one of the last student-run independent radio stations of 50 years. 50 years in Cleveland. So that now you can appease the jazz crowd. Really? Sad, very sad. I think that my personal take on it is that student-run radio stations at universities should be student-run radio stations, not taken over by administrations for whatever gains they hope to do. It's funded by the university. It doesn't cost that much. It's student-run. They're free. They don't get paid. It's volunteers. So, yeah, I just think that that's on the grand scheme of shitty, I would say it is all of those words. Let's see who's texting me here. Yes, jazz, exactly. See, right, yes. Um, so I just crappy. Jazz, really? I just don't find that to be appealing. I mean, jazz is okay, but really, you got rid of student-run radio because they didn't want to have the normal sort of, top 40 Hot 100 hits of the radio today. So they played reggae, they would play metal, they played independent, they launched lots of artists, local music. Very disappointing, Cleveland State. So if you're so inclined, feel free to call Cleveland State and you can complain and tell them how much they suck for this. Another one bites the dust. Since we're talking about Queen and their catchiness. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, another one bites the dust. Yeah, you better believe WC is paying attention to that option. Yeah, well, that's, we'll see. See what happens here locally. Never know. Anyway, sorry to end on such a sad note with such a bitter pill, and my ire is up. But, having to live through this monopoly of radio destruction, I find it to be disheartening that a university would do this, when you would think that even though enrollment may be down, blah, 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 it's not about the money. Then what is it about? IdeaStream is got other radio stations. It did this to Kent State, I believe, as well. KSU, WKSU, Kent State University, did the exact same thing, and they're with IdeaStream as well. I didn't do enough research about IdeaStream because I got this late, but I'm pretty much sure that I would not love them because it sounds like the kind of thing where this would be a large corporation that is disguised as not, but is. Just saying. Anyway, happy Friday night. Tomorrow's Saturday, so hopefully you don't have to work. I will be working. I'm going to do my research during the day because tomorrow night is the Ohio State University takes on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, which should be a complete blowout. So I might be home early. You never know. The auction for the stuff that's in the building will commence next week. As soon as I get the URL for it, I will be posting it repeatedly. I'll put it onto the socials, also talk about it on here so that you can, if there's something you want. I'm going to probably put everything up there. If these guys are going to handle the fulfillment of it, pretty much I'm going to put everything I can. I mean, there's glass block windows, for God's sakes, I mean, who knows? If I can put it up there, I will. I spent a lot of time today going through my ransacked office. What a joy that was. Every drawer pulled out and turned upside down on the floor of my office. Just, You have a junk drawer in your house? It's about this big, filled with stuff. Let's put it this way. My desk and my walls, if you've ever in my office, you looked at pictures of my walls, I had shelves that were junk drawers. Just everywhere on the floor. All of it. Just sifting through it today. I just, it was very difficult for me not to go have 3 cups of double espressos because I was just wired working in the dark doing that today. Picking up this stuff and going one by one of like, does it bring me joy? I got to recondit this thing. Does it bring me joy? Where can I store it? Where will it go? Do I sell it or do I just throw it away and say, so a lot of that stuff just, I don't know. Anyway, that's my life and we're living through together. Appreciate y'all. Love you for being here. Thank you so much. Try and have a great day. And remember, Confucianism. Don't do unto others that you would not want others to do unto you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Look for you tomorrow night. Try and do this all again, but completely different. Fade to black. Mr. B.B. King. Ba, 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 ba.